Welcome to the DoubleACS Daily News for February 4th, 2016. Many high school seniors across the country are getting ready to decide on where they will apply for college. The Common App is one of the most popular college applications in the country, but there's a new system that's gaining steam. To learn more, we spoke with Attleboro High School Guidance Counselor Bill Stiles.
So the original Common App, it started out as a more selective piece, but it's opened up and become wider and more used in the mainstream. So it does simplify the process for those students that are looking to apply to 5, 6, 7, 8 schools, because they then only have to fill out a certain piece of information one time and then specific school information for each school. And then for the counselors and the recommenders, we get a prompt and we only have to upload information one time. So I don't have to send 8 different documents to 8 different schools. I upload something one time, and as soon as a student adds a new school, they are automatically sent that information that I've already uploaded for the previous schools. So that's sort of why Common App has become so popular, because it's sort of one-stop shopping for the college research, as well as for downloading and uploading of information between the high school and the potential college. You do have to pay for each school, though there are some reprieves for students who have some financial situations going on, and there's a fee waiver option that a student would select, and then based on certain criteria, they are either approved or denied, and those criteria are laid out by the College Board and by the Common App, depending on what criteria are being used for that individual student. Students come to access us about those situations as early as SAT season, so the juniors really will start accessing us about that because there are fee waivers available for that test, and if you're eligible for those, in general, you're also eligible for free applications through the Common App. For short, they're the Coalition, but it's the Coalition for Affordability, Access, and Success. Right now, they currently have about 80 schools on board, and this is sort of reinventing the college admissions process because they want to open up more of a portfolio style application, and they want to make sure that the schools that are involved meet the needs for financial aid of the students that they're accepting, and that they have a high graduation rate, because if they have that high graduation rate, then they also are allowed to join this coalition. If they don't, then they're not, because they want the students that get there to be successful in the long run and to find enriching careers after they graduate. In doing a little research on the coalition, what I've noticed is that 9 schools in the state of Massachusetts are using the coalition, and that none of them accept more than 50% of applicants. The majority of them accept under 20%. So you're talking about this being for that, currently, for that high achieving student who may be low income and may want to show a little bit more of their personality in their application, because that's what the coalition application is looking for. But for the most part, it's definitely going to be for those high-achieving students who also match up with low income. So it's got a narrow scope currently. I wouldn't say it's necessarily competition for the Common App. I would just say it's another way to be noticed by those elite-level schools that have high rates of deferment or not being accepted to the school. So next year we'll certainly be rolling that out, but with the narrow scope currently of the coalition, it's going to be for very few students. So it's going to be sitting down in our senior interviews, which we do with all our seniors every year, and discussing with them what their options are. So if we notice a high achieving senior who's in the top 10% of the senior class, who's also low income, well, that's a student that might apply to your Tufts or your Northeasterns that are on the coalition currently, and that might want to access that application. We may start looking as soon as our junior interviews at the end of this year, but really when the ball gets rolling, when they're going to be looking to start applying, it's going to happen in that senior year. And that's when we're going to get more information on it as well, because there hasn't been a ton of outreach to the counselors yet on exactly what this application is going to entail, what it's going to be, and how they want it to work from our perspective. So as we're educated, at that point we're going to pass that along onto the students. And the coalition is definitely working on that, but I'm sure they've got the technological pieces to work the kinks out of and what have you, and once that's up and running, they'll certainly be giving more education to the counselors so that we can make sure we're using that to the best of our abilities to get students who are low income into schools that are highly selective.
That's it for today's update. For DoubleACS News, I'm Austin Ricketts.